Welcome, everyone, to Filter and My Podcast. Well, thank you so much for being here and supporting the both of us. We created this Podstream because we wanted to get to know more about our fellow streamers, followers, and viewers in the community. When we're streaming, it's kind of hard to get to know someone from Stream Chat, so we've decided we were going to bring on two individuals each Podstream who we were interested in getting to know better. As some of you who were here to watch our first pod stream, either live or via VOD, we had announced that we'd be doing a fundraiser once a month for a chosen recipient to help make their life a little better. We also announced we'd be choosing a recipient once a month who cannot afford a SWTOR sub and gifting them a 60-day sub so that they can play the game without restrictions to keep this magic going. So without further ado, let me go ahead and get you over to my partner in crime, Infiltration 10, which, by the way, if you are not following him, there's a link underneath my stream where you can just easily click and give him a great follow there. I am going to hand you over to my partner in crime, who's going to introduce our very first interviewee today.
Oh, that's me? All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, I'm going to be introducing Mr. SWTOR Central himself, Mr. PeterTheSelkath. He actually got partner last night, so big ups to Mr. Peter here. He did a 20-hour stream last night. Great guy. Love him. Good dude here. So I'm going to give him a platform to kind of introduce himself if you already don't know him. So, Mr. Peter, platform is yours, sir.
Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Infiltration.
Thank you.
Yeah, my name is Peter. I run a channel on YouTube called SWTOR Central, and I'm running it for almost half a year now. And pretty much I take over from Sam, who was the previous owner of the channel, but due to his real life issues and things like that, I take control of SWTOR Central. Before then, I was running another YouTube channel, which was just called the SWTOR Guy. Probably some of you remembering the old days and things like that. And now I am pretty much doing YouTube videos and streaming on Twitch a lot of times as well.
So if you have any questions there for Peter, he's a great wealth of a lot of information he can give out to you guys as far as streaming, as far as the SWTOR related, so all the good stuff there. So I mean, we'll start with the interview here. Just ask some questions, get to know you a little bit better in case some of us don't know you there. So some of us may be surprised here. How long have you been playing SWTOR for, and how did you find out about the game originally?
So let's start out where did I found out the game. So I found the game on E3 when they announced it back on 2008, I believe. And on 2008, I just instantly fell in love with it. And the first ever game as well that I bought a collector's edition for this game, or for any game in general. So I'm really proud that I have a Darth Malgus statue standing on my shelf, which is looking really, really cool. And I'm playing since beta, since it came out. So I'm pretty much non-stop. I think I had only a 3-month break due to real life and things like that issues, but other than that, I'm constantly playing the game.
All right there. And how long have you been playing it for? You said since 2008, right? So that's nonstop. About
pretty much
11.
Ever since it came out. If you guys are familiar with the old days and when was the game at that time? When was it when the beta happened? Pretty much there. Pretty much I got access to the beta, and then my early access, because there was like a 7-day early access when SWTOR launched. I was on the second or third day, I'm not sure, but it launched on December 20th, and I was playing December 14th, I believe. Yeah, December 14th, 2011, ever since.
Now, in regards to it, just want to ask you, I know your main server is Darth Malgus, correct? That's where you usually play. That's where your guild is at, correct? Your main guild.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. So I want to ask you here, what activities do you like to do, whether it be with your guild or with yourself? What's your main activities there, Darth Malgus?
My main activities is pretty much running the guild. I would say if there is like the guild is doing everything, anything in general, PvE, PvP, all kinds of that stuff. I will definitely have some fun with them. That is my main general activity. I pretty much like back in the days I started to do like a lot of PvP when Ilum was an open world PvP area. Maybe some of you remember that time. It was a lot of fun time and a lot of lags without a doubt. And after that I went into like PvE a lot. Like 3 years I went into PvE a lot of hardcore PvE. And then I came into like a casual position where I'm pretty much now doing everything that I enjoy. So achievement farms to anything, pretty much PvP, PvE. The only thing that I not tried out and I'm really scared of is roleplay. Like I am really, really scared to try out roleplay because I don't actually know how that works. Like I saw some people on the chat doing roleplay and I was like, okay, I'm not interested for that, thank you. So I did not found that interesting. Maybe some of you here found it, but for me, maybe I will jump in and see what it is. But for me, right now, not yet.
Yeah, I did a little bit. I got clipped by Derp, and I needed some role playing on Starforge there, just because it was just for for giggles there. But I mean, I was like, I don't know how you can create like a level 70 character and just sit on fleet all day, absolutely just role playing. But I mean, people do it, so I mean, it is a thing. Or
But
there's people that go on Drum and Cost, and there's people we seen. I think me and I think Jay were passing by like 10 or 15 people in the same guild on Tithe on role playing. I'm like, okay, well, shoot. I mean, it makes
but how
sense.
did that work? Like I honestly tell me your experience because I'm totally noob at role playing.
For me, it was just because I wasn't in the actual group itself. I was just kind of like watching it, but it's just basically like typing /me in the chat, and then you basically you're. I mean, you have to. I'm not saying if you don't have an active imagination, but it's just like I don't know. You sit at a bar, or you go do scenes or whatever. I mean, we were thinking about having Mandalorian as
So
you
pretty
know.
much it's just escaping reality. So like going into your imaginations, do whatever you want in the game, and have your kind of own universe. I guess it is.
Yeah, and everything like you role play the fights, you role play like everything. You don't go in there and start attacking stuff. You just
Oh, okay.
so it's slower. It's like a slower pace there. It's like well, technically you're escaping the real world by being in SWTOR, but you're escaping the SWTOR kind of PVE PvP threshold of doing role playing. So I mean, you're still doing that, but it's just in a slower pace.
Mm-hmm. All right. Thanks for clarifying that. I did not know that.
Yeah, I'm still new to myself there, but it is what it is there. But so with Darth Malgus being your main, so when people go to like they want to join your guild, what can they expect from joining your guild there, SWTOR Central's guild?
Nothing. Nothing.
Nothing.
No, I'm just kidding.
Nothing.
Uh, Honestly, I'm really, really, really trying to build like a really active community because when I take over from Sam, it was a raiding team only. So like we called it like at the very beginning it was called SWTOR Family, and we pretty much tried to build like a casual guild just to have everybody there with Sam, do some activities with him or with the others and things like that. I enjoyed that. At the end, it changed into like a hard mode, like raid team, I would say. And we done like a lot of raids and just logged in when we done the raids, and pretty much the guild wasn't active that much. And since a lot of things changed, a lot of people were not active or became inactive. So I'm actually right now trying to revive this guild. So I don't want to, just say, hey, I'm gonna quit this guild to a bigger guild just to get the conquests and everything. I actually trying to build like here a really nice and decent community that when we can do whatever we want to. So for example, that right now all of those people who are in the guild earlier on, they just asked if they want me to do some de nova runs. Yesterday we done EV hard mode and then some commanders for helping to like decorating and opening a lot of flagship rooms and things like that. So we're trying to do everything as much as we can on the game, and I'm really trying to build like a really nice casual community that we can do pretty much everything. If you're interested for PvP, do PvP, or PvE, do PvE, or just other interesting stuffs that we like to enjoy in the game. Honestly, that's my really purpose. My only purpose for this guild is just to have a really nice community here and just enjoying the game in general, what we can do here.
And just to confirm, I just want to make sure I have your guild name right here. It's Selkath Central, right?
My guild name is not Selkath Central. My
Sorry.
name, the character name is Selkath Central.
Okay, that's the name. So the guild name is.
Yeah, so my character name, but the guild name is still going to be called Wipe Central. And
Wipe Central.
I don't know, yesterday, if you were there on the 20-hour stream, on EV hard mode, we proved it why we're calling it Wipe Central. I will tell you a really short story. When Sam was the leader and things like that, we went through EV story mode just to test out, showing it to new players. But we pretty much, like, I would say, carry them, because we had the gear and things that carry them through EV hard mode and had that awesome experience. Because at the very beginning, if you're joining the game, like EV and KP operations are giving you the really good vibes, or how are the operations working, and we really wanted to showcase them, but unfortunately that's not how it went, and we wiped 3 times on Pylon and I think 5 times on SOA, and that was story mode. So, and that's when the name came out. That's where originally the Wipe Central pretty much represent, because we pretty much wiped a lot. Like, and also I can say this, when we done God's hard mode, because we went through really, really hard, we wiped, and I actually counted it at the end, because one of our raid team individuals are recorded almost every try. What did we done wrong and things like that. We done 132 tries until we beat the tithe on hard mode. So we pretty much representing the wipes, but also the fun and everything else with it.
Okay, I understand. So it's Wipe Central. I just want to make sure it's Wipe Central. So anybody who plays on EU that wants a fun, supportive guild team, can always join. Whisper Peter, Whisper someone that can get you in there. Because I'm in there myself. I'm on Target Acquire there. So I mean, I've not had nothing but a good time there. So I'm just saying, anybody that's on the Darth Malgus server, Wipe Central. Peter is an awesome guy, and he has an awesome guild. So I mean, why not?
Absolutely, feel free to join. I'm also recruiting non-stop, so anybody is in the chat and also wanna betray Starforge or anything like that, we definitely welcome you on new players, old players, any returning players, anything like that. We definitely accepting players, so feel free to come in.
Now, how about how many hours would you say you play SWTOR a day? No.
Rough question, because sometimes I play 0. I'm gonna be honest. Some days I play 0 hours of SWTOR. But sometimes I go either 20 hours today, or I can go. I definitely, if I can say an average day, I would definitely play 2 or 3 hours of SWTOR on average. But sometimes I either go like an hour just to check out a few things on Cartel Market, anything GTM, what's going on. Went through a couple of PvP match, and then that's it. Or sometimes I can either go like 9 to 10 hours to just play SWTOR, level up a character, do whatever I want to, do some achievements, doing guides, and staying here, record some stuff. So it's pretty much depending on the day. Of course, if I'm not working, that definitely have a big influence. But I would say on average, I will definitely play like 2, 3, 4 hours on average on a daily basis.
Okay, because I know you get on, for us NA people, you get on quite late there, so sometimes we may not be able to get your stream there, but I definitely every time almost like when I log in, I'm like, oh, there's Peter. I got to visit my dude. I got to visit, see how he's doing there, because it's almost going to be nighttime or sleep time before I get to even see your stream there. So
Right, right. That makes sense. Like, unfortunately, the time zone is a really big difference, especially like I know some North American players playing on the Dark Malgus server, and like for those persons, they cannot do anything, unfortunately, like any PvP activities or even PV activities. Unfortunately for them, I know that is like a really hard thing, but I really hope that that at some point, maybe we will find the balance between like NA or EU or something like that.
okay, all right. Well, like I said, if you guys want to check him out, he definitely streams great content. So definitely, I'm always glad when I am able to speak with Peter, even if it's just for an hour, 2 hours. He always welcomes me with open arms there. So thank you for that. Now, I want to ask you here, what do you think? What changes or recommendations would you like to see in the game going forward there?
Oh, here comes the fun stuff.
Yeah. Let's get down to it. Let's get to the fun stuff.
What changes would I like to see in the game?
Let me get my notepad out.
All right. Definite number one. Open world space. Number one. Have or just similarly. I would like to get something that is pretty much a flashpoint on space or in space, I would say. So pretty much we're getting into your own what is it called, ship. You're going in there, do like defeating some fighters or do whatever you want to, just like in the Starfighter, and just do missions. Maybe you need to defeat the Star Destroyer, and then later on you need to defeat like a similarly to a Death Star maybe, and then just destroy it, put missiles there, and some of them you need like a gunship to defeat it, like really ranged. Some of them need to go there as a striker and just a DPS like the turrets and things like that. I would definitely want to see I would say like a galactic starfighter, but this is not technically a galactic starfighter. It's more like a PVE space thing to see. Definitely want to see that. Also, I would like to see more PvP open world, because I would say the PvP, like, because I'm not playing that much of PvP, but uh, back in the days, I really loved Ilum. Of course, there was some struggles for that, without a doubt, like lag issues and things like that. But I really, really enjoyed it. So I really want to see something like the early days when we actually had an open world PvP and people can use it. Because I am afraid to say that not a lot of people doing PvP, like I would say open world PvP, because there is no purpose, maybe for achievements and something like that. And I would rather want to see that, because at the like there is technically two like areas there where you can go and do open world PvP. That one, first one is Outlaws Den. Then you can go ahead and kill anybody who is entering. Pretty much it's a death match, but no one is entering there. Reason? Obvious, because nobody is interested. Second one was IOCATH, which I think that one is a miss opportunity. That one is a really big miss opportunity, because that started at the very beginning, like really good, just to controlling all of those turrets, and like you can control like a walker and things like that there, and just to defeat enemies. But it's kind of like a graveyard there, like barely people visiting there just to see how the planet is. Maybe they will doing the commander there, and that's it. No one is pretty much going on IOCAT, and it's a shame, because that had potential, but it's just not worked out. It's just not worked out. I'm really feeling sorry for that, because I like just think about it, Filter. Like no one is joining for PvP arenas or anything unless they are doing like an event or something like that. No one is saying like, okay, let's just go to whatever. Let's just have a guild versus guild, and go and do Outlaws Dan PvP tournaments there.
Yep.
No one is doing that because like everybody is doing it on the Rishi Stronghold. Nobody is doing that. So I would rather go ahead and do that. And yeah, what else would I like to see? Tough question.
Any class changes or anything like that? I know
I
were
would rather want to see a new class. I really, really want to see a new class. Like just like in WoW, uh, just like in WoW, when we had like those uh, hold on a second. So just like in WoW, when you had like those hunters and things like that, and starting it on a almost high level, so we can start it here as well. So, for example, we have what is it called? Like I'm still like the demon hunter or something like that, or hunter. What is it? I have no idea how is that called.
close.
Because I barely play WoW. But yeah, it's similarly to that class, and you can go ahead and have like a story at the very beginning there, and then just jumping into maybe Knights of the Fallen Empire, Knights of the Eternal Throne, and then maybe starting to romance Darren, whoever, and joining into the battle and do some stuff for the either Republic or Empire. That will be fitting here perfectly, I think, but I don't think they will do that. Uh, what else would I want to see?
Is it what Dave said? Rome and Jay said Death Knights.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that's the
By the
one.
way, you disappeared. You need to log back in.
Oh, rip.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would uh, I would rather want to see that. Uh, what else should I think? Like there was a lot of. I would really want to see something. Since we're talking about class changes, yeah, I definitely want to see class changes. I'm stuck. Great. Uh,
Here,
I will
no.
just sit here, and I'm just gonna hide myself. There we go. Uh, just seeing my face. I definitely want to see some class changes. I don't know how many of you here played the old SWTOR when we had like the table there with like so no discipline system, and we just had like hybrids and things like that. I'm definitely missing that those days when we had like hybrid classes, all kinds of those things. I really really want to see that. Uh, Other than that, I don't think I want to like. I think that like, of course, there's a lot of things that I want to see. I want to see a lot of like. Speaking of, since I spoke not so long ago about the cartel market, I really want to see something upgraded to the cartel market that is also benefiting the players. So, for example, some cartel market items that is not available on the cartel market, I will definitely want to see it on in-game as an in-game reward. So just like Tide has on the platinums and things like that. So for example, on the Howard chair, you need to do like a lot of secret stuff to go ahead and grind on certain different NPCs, collect certain different crystals all over the planet, or things like that, just to get that feeling that you actually earned it. I definitely want to see something like that. Uh, I want to see, of course, new strongholds and things like that. That is always welcoming if we having new strongholds. And hmm, the last thing I would probably want to say for the cartel market is buying their like you can actually buy cardinal coins with credits. I'll definitely want to see that. So like you're earning a small amount of credits or whatever amount of credits, and you can actually use those credits to buy cardinal coins. And maybe you can upgrade this, and later on you can buy a lot of cardinal coins, and maybe you can buy either a cosmetic item, or maybe even if they upgrading it like a subscription, like maybe not a 30-day, but like a 14-day or something like that, just to have that access and everybody can try it out, see what it is. what does it feel to be a subscriber and things like that. Oh yeah, speaking of subscribers and things like that, free-to-play / preferred status changes. I definitely want to see that. That one is horrible. That one is horrible how it is going right now. That one, like free-to-players have only 100k, preferred players have 350k. They cannot use the hide hat slots and all kinds of those easy things that, you know, like for example, role players are mattered, or anything that who is interested for fashion or things like that. People are interested for that, but they still removing that simple option. It's just a simple option that you still need to pay. Like I definitely want to see that changed, hands down. And I'm not going to go anywhere else for this. So yeah, that's all the changes that I want to see.
See, Mr. Swotor Central over here giving all these changes. You know, hopefully Musk on his secret alternate account is watching, so he can kind of document and write these down. You know, but I don't think he is. I don't know, but who knows? But yeah, I can. You know, I know the first thing, the moment you said Galactic Starfighter, Jay was like Galactic Starfighter PVE. But yeah, I definitely agree though. But did you were you going to mention another change?
Sorry, what?
Were you going to mention another change there? I didn't want to cut you off through train of thought there.
On GSF?
No, just any changes in general. I thought you were going to say something.
Oh no, I'm not gonna go anywhere else on changes and things like that. I actually cannot think one right now in my mind. If I want to put something, I will definitely want to change the strongholds a little bit. So like, don't have hook types, and just rather put whatever you want everywhere. And also, I would like to put armor sets into our strongholds, like just like as a dummy. And you can put your own armor sets that you open through collections and things like that in there. So that I would definitely want to see it. I think a lot of people maybe want to see that, but maybe some of them not. So yeah, other than that, I don't think there is like any changes that is coming up in my mind.
Okay. I mean, hopefully they, take notes and, hopefully maybe make some changes there. I mean, you guys, obviously, you and Kogass would be, the first ones to know about any, potential changes there. I mean, obviously, you guys have to keep that to yourselves there, but hopefully they make some type of changes to the game there. Hopefully 6.0 is a bigger difference. Who knows, really? But,
Yeah.
I definitely want to see some changes in this game as well to help out everyone else in general. Especially one of the issues I had personally, I don't know if you guys are having this, after they implemented OSIS, the AI pathing is messed up for the ranged companions, because ranged companions now stay at a farther length. And I know some people were getting bad, like, oh my gosh, like first time players who, have different followers from different games and all that were like, oh man, this AI pathing sucks in this game. It's like, no, it sucked after the 5.10 patch or whatever OSIS patch that was, where the AI ranged comps like just virtually suck. They have to be dragged passively and then they have to go shoot something or heal something.
Did you know the vet bug, by the way, for that when they launched this patch, the recent one on Tuesday?
No, the vet bug.
So the vet bug, pretty much there was. Since we're talking about companions, I found it really funny. I don't know how did that happen, but that it happened eventually. That pretty much if you summoned vet, your PC can be crashed if it was not good. So pretty much a model, like the model showcase for vet, is just showcased totally different, and it just frees your computer. So like couldn't actually found wet as a companion as the model, and it was hard to load it up. So you're stuck there for like whatever is it called? You're stuck there for like 5 to 6 seconds until you get back vet, and if you once you jumped into your mount and like jump down, vet is again instantly loading and your PC can be crashed there. I found it very interesting, but it was weird to say the least.
I've not experienced that yet, just because I don't use vet at all. I use LAN and all of them. So I haven't experienced that yet, but hopefully I don't. Thank you for that there. Now, with you being Mr. Swotor Central there, with you in your Discord, I know you have different special events you like to do. Is there any special projects and events you're running in the future there that we can be aware of? I know, like Aquila, for example, is doing with obviously Mr. Kogass right here, is doing the World PB the World PvP event. Is there anything like similar to that you're doing, or any events you have planned in the future there or coming up?
Like this event I planned, like what I had the 20-hour stream, and since we're talking about that events, I would like to do one really big event, and since Kogass is here, maybe he will interested for that later on. Uh, is I really want to try out to do showcase one of the hardest fights in the game that people barely done it, and I just want to showcase it, and also want to showcase it with streamers and everybody else who maybe did not done the fight. But of course, that one actually requires maybe experienced players and with good gear and things like that. That
Mhm.
is a whole dreadful run. So that means we gonna run through getting the mask for Dreadtooth at the very beginning for some players, and after that we will go ahead and start TFB 60 Man Nightmare, which we defeating the dreadful entity there. Once we defeated the dreadful entity there, we're gonna jump into Scum and Villainy, and we will defeat the hateful entity there, which is one of the hardest, and I mean one of the hardest boss fights in the game still right now. I would definitely want to showcase it that with a lot of streamers as well included. Other than that, I'm really planning now, since I'm done with like this 20-hour stream, I would like to go and focus more on videos for this time right now. So I'm really planning to do like a guide for like an ultimate way to get credits in SWTOR. That is my number one priority plan right now. Also, I digged into a lore a bit, and checked out the Dreadmasters, so I would like to do like a showcase about like a little bit lore and things like that, a little bit backstory about certain characters that was important for the SWTOR universe, like the Dreadmasters, like Jadus, and all kinds of those persons who were really important in the game, and I would like to showcase the backstory of them. But other than that, uh, yeah, that's all the things that I'm currently planning right now. In the future, there is one more thing, of course, before I'm gonna forget. Of course, I will not forget this. And this one is not relating to SWTOR, guys. I'm gonna say, and
Okay.
you guys, of course, do not take this seriously or anything like that. But I will have like kind of a special stream with Nami in the future when we going to do like a Minecraft wedding. If you need explanation for that, you need to check my VOD. But further on, we gonna plan to do that at some point. But of course, do not take this seriously. It's not like real life thing or anything like that. It's a funny thing that we are doing together. That's it.
So it's nothing serious. Nothing Naira's gonna kill you over, because she's gonna go after. Well, she's gonna get Nami first, after you. So.
I will take care of Naira. No worries. Easy peasy.
And what day is the just to ask, what day are you thinking about having it on for the TF the Nightmare run there?
I was actually thinking about this next week, but I don't know how many people are going to be prepared because since there is like double XP and things like that happening, maybe that is a perfect opportunity to some persons who are not playing on the Dark Malgus server and cannot transfer a character on Dark Malgus. That is a good opportunity for some players who are coming in for Starforge or Statiel or things like that. Maybe they can start level 1, and in that case, maybe they can level up a character like much faster and things like that. So around that or a week later, I have no plans for that, but it's soon. It's soon.
Okay, for everything. Yeah, we just want to make a specific day that way. Nami can make an announcement, maybe copy and paste your announcement from your Discord, and we can let people know just to make sure. So I'm gonna pass over to Nami if she has any questions there for you. So I mean, I'm always naturally inquisitive. I have like a bajillion questions there, but I'm gonna pass it off to her to see if she has any questions there for you. So
Well, no, continue if you have some questions you want to. Now is the time.
Now's
Bring
the
me.
time.
Now's the
Bring
time
it
to
to me.
ask him, the man of the hour.
Well, I just want to make
Bring
sure
it,
you know.
filter.
I just want to make sure we hear from Kogass as well. Because last time I know we went. One person went on for like 2 hours there, while the other
I
two people were
know.
sitting there. So, Mr. Dermott, yeah, we asked him too many. So,
Yeah. I'm trying to think. The only question I have is that I just want it known that if anything happens in the Minecraft wedding and whatnot like that, like there's a split, I told him that my name had to be Felicia in Minecraft because that way when I leave him or I get a divorce, I mean, if that ever happens, he can say bye, Felicia,
Bye, Felicia.
and I will get at least half. At least half. I live in California, at least half. And he said he'd give me 3/4. So you heard it here, right?
Yeah.
3/4, right?
Yep. Three
All right,
quarters. I'll give you 3/4. So
there you
that
go.
means I have 4.3 billion credits now on my Swatter account. I think I can. So that means I need to give you like 3.5 billion credits, and also half of my platinum items, half of no 3/4 of my gear and things like that. So, yep, there will be no more guides, guys, or anything like that, or nightmare raids or hard mode raids that I can join. Sorry, if that will
Wow.
happen, of course.
Yep, gold digger confirmed. No, I'm just kidding. Well, I don't know. I have to ask Kogass. Kogass has been in this game for a very long time, but he wouldn't want to marry me. So, but I'm sure he has a lot of credits as well. This is all funny, fun and games, though. You guys don't take it serious. But yeah, it was really nice spending some time with you yesterday for your 20-hour stream. I also want to congratulate you for some of the guys that don't know. Peter made Twitch partner on Valentine's Day. So I hope you guys all have a chance to stop by his stream, give him a big congrats on that. Definitely well deserved. A big promoter of the game, which I definitely like. And also, it's just he's just adorable. He's very interactive to his chat. If you guys didn't see yesterday's stream, I was quite amazed that he was doing all these different things and still was keeping up with chat. I was like, wow, I can't even do that in my small stream. But yeah, he did very well put yesterday. And I did miss the pizza eating thing, so I'm gonna have to go back and look at that as well. Um, when I have time to look at that full VOD. Because apparently you ate pizza on stream, or did you not? Oh,
Oh
wait a minute,
yes,
you
I did.
did. Wait, was that
Yes,
the
I did.
time I said, hey, give me the last piece? Was that the
Yes,
pizza?
that was the time.
Oh, and you ate it? You didn't give me the
Of course.
last piece? Was that the pizza?
I don't know how long the delivery can go to California, but when the time you're probably receiving that pizza, I don't think Dubo will eat that pizza, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, but you could have at least put it aside and ate it off stream. No, you said, oh, you want this pizza? Boom, it was gone. In your mouth, gone.
Oh, I ate 3/4 of it without a camera. So, like, I ate most of them without a camera, so just the footage showing and things like that. So,
Oh, I
I'll,
see. So you only ate the piece of pizza that I wanted. Oh, okay. Yeah.
yeah,
On stream. Yeah.
yeah,
It's
I
a good
guess I'm
thing
really
I'm
sorry.
already securing that 3 point whatever billion credits right
Do you
now.
want me to trade it now?
Do I want what?
Do you want it now?
Do I? No, 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 no. No. Just a billion. But no, 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 I'm just kidding. Just in case I want to go on a shopping spree. I am just kidding. Just kidding. Anyways, yes. So, does anybody in the chat have any questions for Peter?
Bring it, guys. Bring it. Now is the time to shine. If anybody wants anything, any juicy stuff as well. No, of course, that is not breaking my NDA. Feel free.
this is a mature audience. They clicked yes, so. Huh. Oh. Well, Nami be joining
Uh,
Peter for Dublin.
for some of you who don't know, I'm gonna go to vacation on Dublin on February 26th. Uh, it depends on Nami, to be perfectly honest. You should not aim that question, Caramels, to me. You should aim that question to Nami. Uh, Later, what's your favorite streaming moment? Oh my god, that is a ton. There is a ton. Uh, if I think like a recent one, uh, filter break my sub
Cool.
time goal. That one was top notch. When I hit 1,000 followers, that one was also a really good moment. And when we like done Beyond the Walls with Sam at that time, that was amazing to do. Further on, I remember back in the days, like when I was not streaming on Twitch, actually, when I was streaming on YouTube, when I was one of the first persons to stream Knights of the Eternal Throne, and I was there like surprised at how many people actually visited my laggy potato PC stream at that time. But it was a blast. It was a really blast to enjoy. Uh, hmm. I had a lot of good memories with Nami, like actually yesterday, and Naira and Nami can definitely remember that quite well. That was some really funny stuff to remember. There is a lot. Like honestly, I think the best way that I can also when I'm not streaming all SWTOR and sometimes I'm going into other games, that's where I also have a lot of good memories for streaming. I honestly enjoy interacting with all of you and streaming in general. So I would say that one is definitely like one of like favorite moment to do all time. But some these are some of the moments that just came up in my head.
Jay Musselman said, so at Peter, what do you look forward to do as a partner that you couldn't do as an affiliate?
Uh, I cannot tell you yet, but I have a really big plan to do for the SWTOR community. I'm not gonna share this one yet because it's kind of secret and I need to sort it out first of all. But once it's shareable, I will let you know because you will be hopefully a part of it, Muscleman. You will be a part of. I really hope you will be joining.
Will Nami and I be able to join, or Jay Musselman?
I will talk to you guys about it as well. Filter, yeah, it's questionable for you, Filter. Nami, of course. Like then,
Wow.
if why?
Oh!
Well, if Nami will not join, then I will just trade the credits right now. Like that would Nami would say, nope, thank you very much, we're done. She will probably say that if Nami will not join. So of course Nami will joining for that. Filter, yeah, questionable for you, depending how big of an Anthem streamer you gonna be. But no, I'm just kidding. Of
Yeah,
course,
right.
of course,
All my
of course, I will.
attendees.
Of course, I will talk to you about it as well.
And then I see Duck Sauce there. What's your thoughts on maybe a prestige functionality for leveling to run alongside CXP, like hit 70 option to reset to gain perks and level to 70 again? Do it alongside CXP as a functionality for special items.
Uh, so like my thoughts on functionality leveling a run alongside CXP. So like double leveling, you would say. Uh, when they introduced the galactic command, I found it really interested, but at the end it was like just grinding another level. So that means you still have more content to do in the game. Of course, the CXP is kind of a functional thing. So pretty much if you are like level 70 at the very beginning, you can go ahead and start EV, KP, whatever you want, and just gear yourself up for PvP, whatever. You can just do that. So CXP is kind of an optional thing to do. So just like a legacy is also an optional thing to do. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. If you want to do it, do it. The Galactic Command and the CXP right now is just helping you maybe getting better gear at the very beginning. So for at this state of the game, some players would definitely found it helpful to getting like 248s, 246 gears and things like that, but that's not the best gear. So right now it's kind of a functionality, I would say. But I would definitely like to do some changes there. And if I will be a dev, but I will never be a dev. Uh, I would probably do something like getting more gear and more like art pre stuff and everything like that. So you will getting pets here and things like that. I would like to do more on that, like more upgrades for that CXP stuff without a doubt.
Also, Ginger asked Peter, I don't know if you saw that. He wanted to know, have you always played on a PC or did you have to adjust using a mouse and keyboard?
I always played on a PC ever since I not ever since I was a kid, because before that I had like okay, maybe Commodore 64 and things like that, but yeah, I always play on a PC and things like that. When it comes to like struggling key bindings, uh I know that is difficult to do, and a lot of people doing it like Alt X, Alt Y, Alt C, and things like that, the key binding. But I am an old school guy, so I would just rather use the Shift 1 to 6 or Control 1 to 5 or Alt 1 to 5, and that's how you can keybind yourself pretty easy. Also, I would say like everybody has different types of keybinds, so. Uh, I know it is a hard thing to do, but I would say on the key binding, it's much more fitting on the key. I mean, on the keyboard, it's much more fitting there. On mouse, if you have a depth mouse, maybe you can do it, like maybe pop in a mount or something like that. But I prefer keyboard.
And
Uh,
Naira asked, do you remember the specific moment you started to love the game? Did you love the franchise and movies before the game or reverse?
oh, good question. So, long story short, my father was in the military, and when I was born, I was like 4 or 5 years old. We on these military buses, we used to have this really really old school big TV, and at that time, Episode 5 came out, and my father was just instantly watching it and remembering since this day all of the most of the lines and things like that. So that's where my first Star Wars vibe came in. And of course, I became a teenager. I did done things that I remember, and it was magical. I done some things that I regret, of course. Who doesn't? Uh, but later on, I just started to love the franchise. When I was like 12, 13, I watched the world premiere of Episode 2. After that, Episode 3 and things like that. So I would definitely like became a much bigger fanboy there. But I think when I joined Star Wars Galaxies, that was the previous MMO that it was before SWTOR. That's when the whole Star Wars vibe and everything came in. And also like the specific remember moments that I love for the game. You're gonna find it really interesting, but I loved the crafting back then. I actually talked Kogass for this at some point, uh, because when back then the crafting was totally different, and you became like one of the like server crafts and things like that for when you done like those EC and TFV hardboard nightmare runs, and you had the chance to reserve engineer the implant, not the implants, or maybe yeah, the implants or the enhancements or the hilts, and you became like pretty much the world first and the server first who can craft it, and you sold it, and you made like millions and millions of credits, and you just pleased people that you actually know this gear, and you can make it to all of these new persons and make them happy with new gear and things like that. I remember those days a lot. That was some really really good time without doubt. And also the operations, the 60-man operations. I really really loved it, and I am really glad to say when world firsts and everything mattered that I got most of the world firsts on 60 men back then, of course, when it mattered. But now nowadays, of course, nobody cares about who the hell is this guy that who dumped world first. And are you good at PvP? No, then get the hell out of here. Pretty much simple as that. So yeah, these are the moments for that I remember the most. The 16-man raids and the crafting a lot. I loved crafting back then.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here, Peter. And also putting it on the VOD that I get 3.4 billion. Oh, I almost said million.
Million?
Billion. Forget it. I have more than 3.4 million. But no, no. All kidding aside, thank you so much for being here. Especially just doing a 20-hour stream. I still think that Filter should do a 21-hour stream and then you do a 22, and to see how long it goes until one of you says, "Okay, I give." But yeah, uh, I think. Let me think. Is there anything else you needed to ask, Filter? I think we should go ahead and get on to our second guest. Does that sound good?
That
Do you
sounds
have any
good.
questions, Peter, for us?
Uh, Filter, do you hate me?
Do I hate you? Why?
I don't know. I'm just asking. I'm asking a question to you.
Question to me. Okay. No, I don't hate you.
Nami, do you love me?
Wait, do we have that 3.4 billion on the line here? I just want to know.
Let's just say 2 billion then.
Wait,
That's
2
still
billion?
all.
What the heck? It's already got. Wow, we went from 3.4 billion to now 2 billion. By the
I guess we can go
time
down
that we even get to the Minecraft wedding, it's going to be like, yo, you owe me. You got to pay me.
to. Now it's gonna go down to 1 million. Sorry, I'm broke now. Thank
Oh
you.
my gosh. Wow, look at this. I think he was, instead of giving cigarettes to those girls, he's giving credits to
Oh
those
no
girls.
no! We're not gonna go into this conversation. We're not gonna go into this conversation. All
Oh
right.
my gosh. Well, yeah, for you guys that missed the 20-hour stream yesterday, a lot of clips were made by Celadorn, I know, and whatnot. But yes, thank you so much for being here, Peter. It was a blast. And yes, I love you, but just like I love everybody else too, okay? So don't get a
Ooh,
big
wow.
head. Don't get a big head about that. But
No, I
anyways,
will not.
anyways. Oh well, that was probably a poor choice of words, but that's me. Who doesn't know that? Anyways, I am going to get over to our next guest who's been patiently waiting there. Looks like he's about to sleep. Got an awesome hat, by the way. I think he looks awesome there. Sizzling Kogass. Hi, Kogass. Thank you for waiting, being so patient.
Hi,
Uh,
Nami. How are you doing?
I am doing good. I am so excited to have you here. If some of you guys don't know, Kogas sees Telios Avi, Averia, if you guys don't know who she is, Aquila, they were the ones that I were watching when I first got into Star Wars. And definitely were a big inspiration for me when I first started streaming. So I'm so excited to actually have you here as a guest. So introduce yourself to everyone.
Hi, guys. I am Kogass. I really don't have anything super special to say. I just like to play this game, and I'm lucky enough to be able to stream it, and that's about it. I've been playing the game since what? Launch? My best friend got me to get it, and then he stopped playing, and I kept going. So it's been a long journey since. I've had a couple of breaks here and there, but I still log in, still play, still met some really good friends. And who doesn't love the Porgs, Muscleman? I love it. Love it.
Absolutely. I mean, don't you hate that when kind of like your friends like you got to get this game, you got to get this game, and then you go and get it, right? And you play with them for like 2 hours or 2 days, and then it's like, hello, hello, do I uninstall this or what? Because they like disappear, and that's exactly what happened to me in this game, and I'm so happy that we continued playing it. It's just a wonderful game. Now,
Right. Well, he had issues with his subscription. There was a lot of issues with subscription when the game first launched. And he was in beta testing. He loved it. He was playing with his girlfriend. They both enjoyed it, and then they went to pay, and then he had so much issue trying to pay, and then he was just like, you know what? I'm just not going to play it anymore.
Oh, so he had issues that way. Got it. Got it. Now I know that I've seen you. So what other games do you like to play besides Sword Tour?
All right, so besides SWOTOR, I really got into Zelda Breath of the Wild when the Switch launched. I guess it was like almost a year and a half ago, and I got really into that game. It was a lot of fun. I poured a lot of time into it. It was good times. I also played Assassin's Creed Odyssey when it came out. That was another good game. I put like another 100 hours into that one, and I gotta love playing Mario Kart, right? Beating all my friends or beating people just at computers at Mario Kart. So those are a couple of the other games. If I'm not playing PC, I'm usually playing Nintendo, right? I have a NES Classic and an SNES Classic, so it's always Nintendo for me as a console.
And do you play with other people then on that when you go to console?
You know, it's because Nintendo has like a subscription based thing, and I rarely play my Switch. I'm usually just playing by myself.
Oh, okay. Now, how long have you been streaming?
Oh, streaming, I started back in October of 2018, so it's about a little bit more than a year.
Oh, so you're actually. Oh, so when I probably came across you, you had just started streaming then, pretty much.
It had been a few months, yeah, but I still consider myself a baby streamer,
Wait,
right?
18 or 17? 17, right? Because I started in April of 18.
No, it was October of 18.
No, you've been streaming longer than four
Have I?
months.
Oh man, I'm so terrible with timelines. Let me see.
We're in 19, but we're only in February of 19. You didn't start last October because you were a streamer before me. I was watching you, man. 17. I think you mean 17.
Was it 17? That
A
doesn't.
little over a year and a half, or like almost a year and a half. Yeah. 17. You're still in 18 right now. But yes, I know because I got my computer like end of April and I started streaming somewhere in Mayish, but not really consistently until
Yeah,
I
you're
started
right,
doing
17.
PvP with you guys in June. So yeah. So you probably started just before. So you probably been streaming like a little over a half a year before I met you. But
Right.
dude, you're like smooth. I gotta tell you, if there is anybody who is smooth, smooth voice, smooth interaction, calm, just your vibe in your stream is just awesome. I got to say, and I just love the voice. It's so smooth. I don't know. It's like you need to be on like a radio announcer or something. Be some type of announcer.
That's so nice of you. I do not enjoy the sound of my own voice.
I don't think anybody does. I hate mine too. So, I mean, I don't think anybody really likes their voice. But no, take it. It is a compliment and it's not an overstatement. So, yeah, take that as you may. Now, how many hours would you say that you are able to play Sword Tour? Because I know you're doing
Oh
other things.
God. So I probably am logged in on SWOTOR when I shouldn't be, where I'm like crafting or looking at gear, just trying to take a break from schoolwork. But I would say if I'm not streaming that day, I'd probably be on about 2 or 3 hours just to kind of figure out what I want to do, what's going on with the new gear, if people need help with anything. At most 2 or 3 hours, which to me is still a very short amount of time. And I'm mainly AFK. I'm hardly reading anything. On days when I stream, it's about 5 or 6 hours.
Yeah. Now, what would you say your favorite activities in here? Because I know you do a lot of different stuff, and you have done it.
Oh, I don't think I can ever get away from raids. Actually, I know everybody thinks I just love to PvP, but I love to do raids. I enjoy being in raids. I enjoy the atmosphere of it, just kicking back, hanging out with people, and just joking around. Story mode raids, unfortunately, put me to sleep. So if anybody's ever like, let's do a story mode raid, I'm like, please, I don't want to go to sleep. I don't feel like taking a nap. And I'm sure that sounds extremely overly confident, but it's just I've been doing hard mode and nightmare raids for so long in this game that even some hard modes. I'm like, what are the hard mode mechanics again? I'm not entirely sure because I'm so used to the nightmare mechanics. But I used to do a lot of nightmare raiding, and I used to be a tank for nightmare raiding up until 4.0, and then or until 5.0. When 5.0 dropped, I decided I needed a break from the game, and I went into just some IRL stuff. I had a lot of personal things going on. I was leaving the military along with some other things, so it just did not go well for me in that year and a half, almost 2 year span. And so once things settled down, I came back to the game, and I didn't want to tank again. I wanted to just DPS, and going into DPS was like, breath of fresh air. Didn't have to worry about mechanics anymore. Wasn't in charge of a guild. Wasn't an officer in a guild. I just got to log in. They told me to beat people up, and I did just that, and I would just keep on going.
Now,
So I would
since.
say
Oh, I'm so
raids.
sorry. So sorry. Go.
Yeah. So to answer the question, yes, it's definitely raids, and that's a little bit too much of a background for it, but that's kind of how it happened.
Now,
Also,
I'm going to bring up something that probably maybe might be part of another question, but since you brought it up about the PvP, I'd like to know what were your thoughts, or you were top three. If some of you guys don't know, Kogass was top three Jug. Two, well, one was a Guardian, I believe, but same thing in my opinion. 2 years in a row, he had the top three title. So I don't know if any of you guys know this. Not only is he a smooth streamer, he also is a badass PvPer. Tell me about that. I really want to know, and I think people should
so
know.
absolutely sure. So season 8 was kind of was a happy mistake. I don't want to say I was going for it in season 8. My guild was just, it was a PvP guild. That's when I just got back into the game. We had been getting into group ranked matches against other guilds. We'd been doing other things. And there are people in the guild that were like, hey, we should have a kickball night where we should just keep doing um, group ranked. And I was like, okay, cool. But Jug DPS or Guardian DPS was not in a strong position. So I was like, well, do we want all DPS fights or tank fights? And they're like, well, let's do tank fights. And so I actually ended up getting top 3 through the guild kickballs, just through the games that we were playing. And like I said, that was a happy mistake. And what ended up happening was people who weren't in the guild would actually start harassing me and telling me that I was a win trader. And this was after the server merges, so this was on Starforge. And what would end up going on is I would log in on my tunes, and I'd be getting harassed and saying, we're going to farm you, we're going to make sure you never get gold ever again in any season. Doesn't matter what server you go to, you can't hide from us. And so I was getting harassed pretty hard from a lot of people. And this is at the beginning of the server merges, so people would ask, what server do you want to PvP on? And I would say, if you're anybody but me, PvP on Starforge, because Starforge is less toxic than Satil. But Satil is just full of, just people are cutthroat. And that's definitely changed since the seasons changed over. But at the end of season 8 through season 9, that was kind of the things I was going through, was that, season 8, I'd actually lost top 3, and then they did the whole, we're gonna, make sure nobody cheated. And when I saw that I wasn't top 3, I was actually relieved, because I was like, thank God these people won't harass me anymore. Because before that, people were harassing me saying, oh, I was a, win trader and all that. And I was just like, well, if I'm not top 3, I'm not going to get harassed anymore. I still got harassed, and then I got top 3. So it was just like, oh no. So, like I said, it was a happy mistake. And season 9 came along, and I was just like, you know what? Let me do this for real. And so when I got into season 9, it was a tough grind. Season 8 was really good for Guardians and Jug tanks. The DPS we could put out as skank tanks was really phenomenal. We could carry groups really well, and it was if you knew how to tank, if you knew how to guard swap, you could do a lot for your team, and there was a lot of matches you could carry. Now that isn't so much the case. They've nerfed tanks in general, but season 9, I put a lot of time and effort into it, and it was definitely harder than I thought it was going to be. And I definitely had nights where I was gonna be playing with friends, and be like, it's raid time, and I'd be like, sorry guys, solo ranks popping, or it was let's go do regs, and I'd be like, oh, sorry guys. So it's just not.
Well, I gotta say, for any of you guys who haven't been in my stream, I have been saying that I want my freaking deco. Yeah, freaking deco. It's because I got it very easily, and actually, Kogass was with me last season, not this past that just closed, season 9, and we were trying to get me. I just wanted my crystals at that point, right? Didn't even know about the decos, and I wanted the black and white crystals that I ended up not even getting. I got a different crystal, but what I ended up having enough comps for was a deco, and I'm kind of proud of that deco. But I actually queued group rank with Kogass, Cease, TPM, my mod TPM. We lost all 3 rounds, and I was the healer, and I remember being so nervous about it. Like, they were like, "Just relax, it's okay. You're the healer. You're gonna get jumped on," and I was so nervous about it. So rank just makes me, well, I should say back then, made me really, really nervous. But this season, I tried to go on my jug, DPS. That's my main, I would say, DPS. Man, I got focused just as much as a healer, and it's hard. For me, it was hard. So I suck, so I'm not a good player. But still, it's so much, it was, I should say, so much harder this season than it was last season. So definitely props to you for making top 3, because that's phenomenal. It doesn't matter how many games you put in, or how many or how less. Just to get up there is definitely a legit accomplishment. And especially, there's a lot of people I know. It's not a mistake that, or I should say, not inaccurate that people say that, oh, a lot of people win trade for those top spots. Because it is a competitive. Anytime you have the word ranked in there, it's a competitive arena. And but to get there and put in that hard work this last season, congrats! Really, definitely congrats on that. Now,
Thank you.
are there any changes or recommendations you'd like to see in the game? We heard from Peter's. Is there anything you'd like to elaborate or add to?
Okay, so let's see. I am definitely going to be a big fan of seeing more raids and maybe some flying mounts. I want to be able to have a flying mount, have a speeder that can go up a little bit higher. PvP matches with vehicles. I didn't really, I don't really know what I'd want to bring into the game, because I'm always worried about what's going on right now with, with people telling me things, or with what's going on in game, what we can do. I'm not looking into the future being like, oh, this is what we could be doing. If they added this, it'd be really cool. I'm just like, well, what's going on right now? What do I need to do to get the right gear? What do I need to do for, specifically my raid team? My raid team is taking up a lot of time because I'm in charge of a nightmare raid team, and that's brand new. So it's forming up, and it's taking a lot of time. And then there's the other raids that I'm in, and I'm really just in the moment enjoying the game, because it has definitely, since I would say 5.8, the game has definitely started to revamp, and there's a lot of new life brought into this game since 5.8, 5.9, and 5.10 more than anything.
Yeah, and that's a good point. I know for myself, recently, there is a lot of new people that are either coming back and said, "Oh my God, I played this game at launch. I actually have the founder title. Is this game still good?" And I'm like, "Yes, it is. You see me playing it or streaming it. It's like, obviously it's still good." And we also see a lot of new players coming in. So I'm like, "Whoa." How did they stop by the stream? Like, what made them look at Sword Tour, which is not up there in the viewer numbers, I guess, as a lot of the other popular games. But yeah, definitely, I have seen, since I've played, a lot more streamers streaming the game, as well as players coming in. So yes, I'm so excited about that. Now, since it's the new year, is there anything you're wanting to accomplish this year, whether it be in ranked, whether it be in raids, or anything that you may not have been able to accomplish
Oh,
last year, or maybe you did and you want to push it even further this year?
well, as far as raids, I'm definitely the main group I'm in. The main reason I'm in this nightmare group is to try to get into Nightmare Gods from the Machine, but that's set back a little bit farther than I would like. As far as PvP goes, I plan to just keep on going with where my stream is at. I stream regs. I'll If ranks popping, I'll stream ranked. I'll play ranked. I don't think I'm going to be worried about ranked off stream as much as I previously was. And a lot of people I remember would say, "Oh, he streams his matches, but he doesn't stream as a tank." And I would say, "Yeah, I don't stream as a tank because when I did, I would get stream sniped. And when I'm getting stream sniped, I'm not getting stream sniped by just one other person playing a tank. I'm getting stream sniped by somebody who's playing on their tank and he's got a healer that's playing with that. They're Q syncing together. And it's, a tank and a healer combo. Half the team is in voice together and I have to face against them. And that's completely unfair advantage for them. And so it's just like, I can't really stream that. I'm way too into it. So I never really streamed my tanking matches. Right now, if I were to go into ranked, I'm completely rusty at it. I would be bad. So it's just something else that I think I will keep going with the ranked. The big thing is I want people to know that the atmosphere now, and Satil Shan specifically, I'm not sure about Starforge, but Satil Shan's atmosphere has completely changed from when I started playing ranked way back in season 6. It was when I actually started to do a lot of solo ranked as a DPS. And, it was a lot of get out of queue, you have no idea what you're doing, leave. And that's the nice way of putting it. Now it's just like, especially right now, this weekend, next weekend, until the season 11 starts, it is the best time to get into queue. If you want to get, one, it's going to be to help you get over your fears of whatever solo ranked is doing to people. Two, it's going to help you, wins or losses are both going to help you towards getting that new monumental crystal so that you can start crafting your 258 main hands and off hands. And the kind of people who are queuing in, they're all queuing in for those. There's no real punishment, I would say, for ranked players that lose those matches because their elo isn't affected and they can just go ahead and re-queue back up. So that's the big thing is people get upset because of their rating going down. And it takes, once you get higher up there, it takes 3, maybe 4 matches to make up for one loss. And that's why people get so upset over one loss that could have been a win, because now they have to get 3 wins to make up that one loss. And if you lose another one, then it's 6 wins to make up 2 losses. And it just snowballs out of control. And that's what gets people really upset. It's what would definitely get me upset during that time. And so it's just now there's no, punishment for losing a match. Go in there, get your matches done, have fun with it, and enjoy it. Get what you need to for the weekly, and you'll get your tokens. You'll get the tokens so that you can buy decorations, Nami.
Yes, I am so excited about it. So I will go ahead and I'll make a statement right now. After I'm done with this, I will be on Satil Shan getting my weekly and my daily done, just because I need like pretty much 2 wins, and I'm done with both of them. Obviously, the daily as well as the weekly. So yes, you may want to just not be in queue because I'm going to be coming into queue. But yes, I must admit, this preseason, and it's usually like that for any ranked environment, it is. Honestly, if you guys are wanting to get into the ranked, more of a competitive PvP, now definitely is the time to do it. I got to tell you, I haven't had anybody be toxic to me. I think everybody's there
Right.
for the same thing. I mean, nobody's
And
got that stress of, oh, shoot, like as you said, if I lose this match, I need to play, 6 more or 3 more games to make up for it. The only thing that I, hmm, I don't know why this happens in SWTOR. Like, my very first game was League of Legends. Everybody should know it because of my icon. But when we queue for ranked, because I played ranked over there for 4 years, I think I want to say. When we queue up, we get a tank. We get, well, a jungler over there, but we also get like a top laner, which is pretty much a tank. We get two DPS, let's say, and one support. So there's five on the team there. I was in a match yesterday and someone got a healer. So they had a tank and healer, and on our side, we only had a tank and three DPS. So, I mean, really, it makes a big difference. I don't know why. If, let's say, a healer declines a queue, why isn't another healer brought in? Is there any.
You know what? I have no good answer for you. I cannot help you out with that. All I know is that it does its best to backfill, and it just throws somebody in there if there's no other healer. And I can't say there's no healer available because there's times when there's a healer in queue who doesn't get the pop when the other healer declines. So I have no idea how that works. So it's just
Okay.
bad luck, and everybody gets those bad luck matches. There's going to be matches where you win simply based on the fact that the other team has a better group composition than your team. And that's nothing saying that your team has bad players or terrible players. It's just that you going against,
Three mercs
players
or
that have
something.
that are strong counters to what you have.
Hmm.
Mercs, yes, mercs with their nets. If I could do one thing, it would to be get rid of the merc net. That's the effect, or at least dampen it so that you can't get netted 3 times in a row. It should be a similar debuff to what happens when you get grenaded. Once you're grenaded, you can't be grenaded again for another 30 seconds or so. I forget the actual timer, but it would be nice if you could get netted once, and then you would be immune from the effects of net for 30 or 45 seconds to stop the whole chain nets on one
Right,
person.
right.
And I'm sure, healers would really appreciate that because they have to save their CC break for a net. And then when you have 3 nets on the other team, you can't do anything about it. You're just dead.
Yeah, definitely. That's why my next main's going to be a merc, and then probably that change will happen, and then I'll be like, well, there we go. I suck on a merc too. But yes,
Yeah.
well said though about that and the nets. Now, I I had asked the question, and this is the question that I thought maybe it tied into. What is your proudest accomplishment in the game?
Um, I would say, I mean, we would say for PvP wise, it would be season 9, top 3. PvE wise, it would actually probably be the Isaac 16 man hard mode kill. I was a part of the server first on Satil Shan that did that, and that was a lot of fun for me. I went in there with well-known players, Splizza, Kalizo. I mean, these are the top-notch players in the game, and um, we went in there going for a 16-man kill, and for me, I got the 16-man kill before I got the 8-man kill. So that was definitely very big highlight of getting Isaacs down.
Yes, that gives you the. Does that? Wait a minute. That doesn't give you the wings. You also have the wings. How many wings do you
The
have?
wings of the dragon. It
Yeah.
gives you the wings of the dragon.
How many wings do you have?
Well, I mean, Wings of the Dragon are unlocked on your entire account. So as soon as you got it on one tune, you got it on all of them.
Um.
Brontis Wings, I only actually have one set on my main. I really only worry about my main tune. I don't worry about, trying to get titles or mounts on other tunes. Oh, I need it on this one. I don't have it on this guy. You know what? I've gotten so many timed runs on the same tune when I have other jugs that are just less geared, but they're not my main. So it's just like, no, if I'm gonna do a raid for a week, I'm gonna bring my main in first, and we do a timed run, or the amount drops. I'll be like, I already have it on my main. I don't want to roll for it for somebody. If somebody else wants it on their alts, that doesn't bother me. I have it on my main tune.
Gotcha. Damn. You're gonna have to carry me one day. I want those wings. Uh. So now I'm just speaking with regard to the community itself, Swartor community. Now, have you seen any significant changes since you started streaming or even viewing, being a viewer?
Oh, absolutely. 100%. There's a big difference in how the SWTOR community has changed. I mean, there's like I've said, just in the PvP community, there's been big changes when season 10 started. A lot of the people, there was a mass exodus of PvP players from Satil Shan to Starforge, which kind of left Satil Shan queues didn't pop anymore, but it left that vacuum for once queues did start popping again. There was very little toxicity, or there was a lot of people in the same boat, so it's not as bad as what it was before, and people were able to come in and start going into PvP. And that's one way the community changed. The streaming community has definitely changed. There's been a lot of faces that have come and gone since I started streaming, but it's definitely really cool to see some of these people, still here. TMG was definitely a big inspiration. Big shout out to him, because he's definitely one of the guys that was just like, hey man, we're streaming, yeah, let's do this. And he was there when I first started streaming. He was always helpful, and we would talk about streaming, we'd talk about the game. And I would talk to him. I would talk to Mino, who has since stopped streaming. He was another BioWare influencer. And then I would talk to them, as well as Aquila and my good friend Theon. And Theon has stopped streaming as well. So there's, like I said, a rotation of streamers, but there's not been a time like right now when streamers just are like, hey guys, we're doing this. Let's get streamers in here. Let's all do this. Mino was like always for, supporting other streamers. It's just that with SWTOR being such a small game on Twitch, I'm guessing streamers felt like it was more competitive than cooperative. We're competing for the small amount of viewers that we have, which, if you were watching Twitch yesterday, is completely not true. We had a lot of big streamers on, a lot of big people watching Twitch, and SWTOR in Twitch was over 500 viewers, and that's something I haven't seen in a long time. And it was just really cool to see it. And it's just, these are all streamers that, you and I know. And these are all streamers that are very supportive of a lot of other people. So it's very cool to see how the community has changed. And when we say change, I mean recently with you and Infiltration really just coming in and being helpful to other streamers. And everybody's just being super nice. And everybody's like, hey, we're going to go into this channel and hang out for a bit, or we're going to go over here. And it's just small streamers supporting small streamers, and it's really cool.
For sure. For sure. I mean, that is what I was telling Filter just recently. I call him Filter, by the way, but he's Infiltration. And if you guys aren't following him, there's a link underneath my stream there. I got to tell you, I was just telling him that how proud that I know that I am of, like, just my Discord, just seeing all these fellow streamers coming in that just kind of we just all support one another. I apologize for not being able to be in everybody's stream. I kind of bop all over when I have time, but yeah, I really do like the support. And as you said, it's not a competitive thing. This isn't ranked. This is about us all streaming a game that we all happen to love. And for you viewers, I hope that you guys are supporting the streamers regardless of what game they're playing. It doesn't have to be SWTOR. Sometimes you need a break, right? Anthem's coming out, or Anthem came out, I should say. Is that a game you're going to be streaming at all, Kogass, or is that one game that you like?
I'm not sure yet. I still have a lot of schoolwork to be doing, and between all the stuff that I do behind the scenes with devs and talking with them, and then the stream itself, and then my commitments to other people that I help with raids that I don't stream, it is very hard for me sometimes to decide to pick up another game. Also, financially, it's not usually the best thing for me. I might be just a little bit on the cheap end when it comes to buying new games, because if I buy a game, I feel like I'm investing a lot of time or I'm investing money in it. I should invest time, and they better be worth it. And to me, time is much more valuable than money. And it irks me when I play a game and it just isn't worth the time that I put into it.
Got you. Yeah, that's one thing I know about you is you put 100% in everything that you do. Now, you did mention it earlier. Are there anybody that you would like to mention who has inspired you? And also, who would you say you've inspired?
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, the big list was that the people who definitely inspired me was Mino, Aquila, TMG, Take My Golf, and Theon. They all definitely played a role in me when I started to stream, and Theon especially. I was in a guild on Starforge, and he kind of warned me. He was like, "You have to kind of worry about what the guild officers are going to try to do with your stream. Make sure you remember it's your stream. It's not their stream. It's not a guild stream. It's your stream. You do with it however you want." And that was probably some of the best advice because I usually try to be very helpful with people. I usually want to give to them if they're asking or anything, and it was just really solid advice because when they came to me and they were asking me stuff, and I told them, what, there's things that the guild does that I really don't approve of, and I can't say that's okay with me. And it definitely, I thought they were okay with that. It ended up with me getting kicked out of the guild for it. It's not. I like the guild. I like the people in the guild, and I'm sorry for everybody that I have to keep it that vague. But I'm not gonna drag any names through the mud. So I'm just gonna leave it at that, and it just didn't work out.
Can you, I guess, name anybody that you know that you've maybe inspired to stream, for example? I know that you definitely, I had already started streaming, but definitely the ones that I had mentioned earlier, like Aquila, yourself, Cease, Telios, as well as Averia. I know that you guys inspired me to just keep on going with the streaming.
Okay. Well, I don't think as myself as somebody who's inspiring. I just like to think I'm encouraging people. Like if somebody wants to do something, I want to encourage you to do it. I don't want anybody to feel timid or scared. I should be like, no, that's what you want to do. Who cares why you want to do it? Who like do you like if it's something you want to do, pursue it. If you have a dream or passion, go for it. And if streaming's it, go for it. And some people that I've helped out with their streaming because that's all I do is I help. I give them advice, give them thoughts, and if they can go with it or they don't. I've definitely helped out Brat Lord a couple of times, Vemipris, and Steve. I don't know if you run into Steve BD. He likes
Oh
to.
yeah.
He's a late night guy. So he's always got that deep voice, and he's like, "Coggy Woggy, I'm so sleepy." But those are all people that I have talked to behind the scenes, and they talk to me about streaming, and it's just we go out there and we help them out, and I help them out with their stream, and you know what? It's something you want to do, and I can help you out, and I have the time. I do my best to try to get back to you as quickly as I can, and be like, "All right, let's do this."
Yeah, you've helped me. There's many a times I'm like, Kogass, I suck at computer stuff, help. So I've definitely come to you, but I got to tell you, Kogass is awesome, and he's probably going to hate me for saying this. There's times that I have gone and said, Kogass, can we talk? And he's just really supportive. He really is a supportive individual, and I think it's his voice too, that smooth voice. He puts you at ease, and he's got like some good answers. If you ask him a question, it just kind of all makes sense, and it might be something that you already know, but it's just kind of nice sometimes to toss it around. And I know I've done that with Kogas in the past, so thank you for being there, at least inspiring me, and as well as being there to support me too along the way. Let me see. Now, is there anything you think you could do to make this community an even better one than it currently is?
Absolutely. There's one thing I definitely need to do, and that is to give a shout out to my pubside guildies, Last Centurions, and just say, "Sigh." It's a really bad inside joke. They'll all get a good laugh out of it, but just sigh. All right, but to answer the question seriously, oh,
Wow.
I
Okay.
know.
I don't know how to interpret that answer, but you know what? I'd have to be in your pub site guild to know it. But
Yes,
okay. I know I know this is coming up and I kind of know what's going on about it, but I want you to tell people about it. What project or events do you have coming up, whether you're hosting it or someone else is?
Okay. So there is Akila's event coming up March 2nd. I'm trying to get through this chronologically. So Akila has her PvP, World PvP event going on March 2nd, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Open World PvP on Oricon to help people get the Scare Bear title, which has been something that I haven't seen attempted in a long time. Um, so that'll be really cool. Um, Chronologically speaking, the next one is actually a surprise, and I am trying to get an interview with Mr. Charles Boyd so that I can talk to him about Osus because all I've heard about Osus is really cool. The amount of detail they put into the environment is really phenomenal, and a lot of people like it. And I just want to get in there, and I want to hear where he was creatively because there's a lot of homages to the old Star Wars comics that I really don't know a lot about. The lore just is I'm not a big lore person. I wasn't too much into it, so I don't know everything that stems into Osus and how everybody's like, oh, the planet's Osus. Like when they did that, I'm just like, what's the reason for that? And to really kind of pick his brain about it. That and I really want to know how they picked up and ran with Dawn the Exiled Jedi. If you don't remember, a couple of months ago they had that armor set and Cartel Market, and it said Dawn the Exiled Jedi armor set, and it was just like so confusing because it was like, who the hell is Dawn? And the devs obviously took it and ran with it, and they put Dawn inside Osus, and so he's one of the achievements in there. So it's just like, how did you guys, is this a happy mistake? Is this on purpose? What is the story behind Dawn the Exiled Jedi? Because he's kind of, this mysterious figure. Are we gonna make up our own lore about Dawn? And it's just something that's really cool, and so that's hopefully something that can happen with Charles. And then the next thing I have going on is in April is Star Wars Celebration. And if you've been to my stream, I have a new donation goal. It's $800. And what I want to do is I want to be able to have $800 to go into Star Wars Celebration and to go around, take pictures, tweet about them, if I'm able to live stream whatever's going on in Star Wars Celebration and being like, hey guys, we have money for merchandise that we can buy at Star Wars Celebration. What do you guys like? What should I grab and get? Because I'm going to be there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. We all know everything good is going to be sold out by Saturday, but I'm already there for the first 2 days, so it's just like, hey guys, what do we want? And this is really ambitious. This is I like the most ambitious thing I've tried with the stream, and just trying to get, trying to help out as much as I can. The stream, it's like something from the stream for the stream, and it's something that I want to do. If people who are overseas can't get to Star Wars Celebration, I'll work with them, and if they win, I'll work with them trying to figure out shipping prices and all that, and get something to them, and hopefully we can get some nice stuff signed by the devs because Star Wars Cantina Tour is going to be there. They have more to unlock at the Cantina Tour Celebration. We can all take a guess. They're going to give us a trailer of 6.0, but it'd still be nice to have it. If they do have the trailer, we can try to get things signed from the devs, and we can get some actual SWTOR swag. And the thing is that SWTOR doesn't have its own swag. It's very hard to buy anything that's official Star Wars The Old Republic, but we're going to be able to get that at the Cantina, and hopefully I can get enough of it to just give away to the stream. So those are the three big things I got going on right now in the future.
Okay, yeah, I'm excited about that. I might give you a little shopping list. I'll be like, here's go and take pictures of things that look really cool, and hey, send me a picture, and if I want it, order it for me. Here you go. So I don't know if you're gonna. I think it would be too much for people to give you orders, but yes, definitely I'm gonna go ahead and give you a shout out right now. Go check out Now, you normally stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Is that how it is?
It's really just Monday and Wednesday,
Okay.
from about 5 or 6 Central to midnight Central.
Okay.
Um, I need to pick. I need to either add more hours or maybe add another day. It's just like I said. There's so many things I do behind the scenes, and there's other nights that I'm rating that I don't stream.
Right, right. But yeah,
So
definitely
it's
get a
just
some kind of schedule as you're leading up to it because we're already like, well, we're in what, mid-February, but it's a short month, and before you know it, April's here. So
it's
definitely.
gonna be exciting. It's gonna be a great time. I can't wait. If anybody in stream is planning to go to Star Wars Celebration, SWTOR is gonna have its own booth. I'll be there almost every day. Well, I will be there every day. SWTORista's making sure I'm gonna be working every day. But SWTORista will be there. We're gonna have other people. We're gonna have other influencers there, and we're working on a bunch of things. I don't think I'm allowed to say anything yet for that. And she is ramping it up, and she is doing
She's
a
doing a
really
lot of
good job of
work.
organizing it. And
Yeah,
I
she's doing a
honestly
lot
can't
of
wait to.
work.
I can't wait for the cantina itself to see what the devs have been saving for that, because we didn't get a roadmap. We didn't get a roadmap, and it's just like, where's our roadmap, BioWare? And it's just like, don't worry, 6.0 is around the corner. We'll get you something there, and it's just like, oh, it better be good. So I'm very excited about it. It's just got to play that waiting game, unfortunately.
Well, I know I'm excited for you guys to go there. Yes, I actually are part of the group, so I've been seeing what everything she's been doing behind the scenes or even right in front of the scenes. Holy crap, she's doing so much and she works. And she's over here. She's an LA girl, so we're very close to one another. She was like, "Hey, I didn't know you were SoCal." So, yes, interesting. So, yeah, that is definitely going to be some good times. And I'm looking, hopefully, you guys can live stream it from there, or at least something. I don't know if the computer is set up or if they're allowing that or whatnot, but that would be great if one of you guys could, well, especially you could be streaming it. Yeah, it'll be exciting. Plus, you could like hold up the shirts. Nami, do you want this shirt or do you want this shirt? Um, but yes, and now is there any questions from the chat for Mr. Kogass? No shopping list yet. No, no shopping list yet. That later on. But yes, does anybody have questions?
I'm not part of the chat, but I do have a question.
Go ahead. What's up, Peter?
So, two questions. You said your brightest achievement was Isaac's, like now. But if you're thinking about, because you said you rated back then, what was your hardest one to do that you struggled to do back then, and you're proud of that you actually made it back then?
Are you saying back then as in at tier?
Like 3, 4.0, when the Nova hard mode was a nightmare mode was a thing, TFB nightmare, Scum and Villainy nightmare, all kinds of those.
I mean, those are all fights that are extremely difficult, right? And it's so hard to actually, for me to go back and think about which fight do I enjoy the most, or do I remember the most getting the kill on, because it was, at that time it was like prod group, so it's just like, all right, we're going to get this fight. I would actually probably say Kefis hard mode, when it first came out, was probably one of my proudest achievements, because it was a group of people that um, it was a guild called Wargasm, and I still talk to these people to this day. I still talk to Kaiser. I still talk to Markula. I still talk to GoTab, and these guys and gals that were in the group were all just. I thought they were just a ragtag group of people that were just in there, and they were a group of friends, real life friends, that we'd go in there and we'd start hacking away at Kefis in hard mode, and I think it took us 2 or 3 days of progging on it and being like, okay, we have to do this on this fight. Kogass, you're tanking on this. This is where you have to position him. And it was a lot of fun. And I've actually gone up to visit some of the guildies. GoTab's in California, guys, so I've gone out to visit him a few times. Thomas is in Milwaukee, and so I've gone up to visit him and his wife. and Markula as well. So it was a really fun. If I have to pick out one fight that was really fun for me and really memorable, it was because yeah, I knew the group of people. We got along really well, and it was a hard mode progression on Kefis hard mode, and I mean it was just a really fun time to remember.
Oh, that one without a doubt is was really really good as well. I still remember mine. All right, I'm gonna jump into my second one, and after that, I'll leave it to the chat. Uh, what are you most looking forward to Star Wars Celebration? Because I know like everybody's gonna be in nerd mode and things like that, but of course there will be not just SWTOR stuff there. I'm pretty sure. So, and also I'm really jealous of you that you're going there, but that's all. I accepted it. I'm a Hungarian guy, so I will take it. I will watch the stream or whatever if it's happening or things like that. I will be supporting here. But yeah, what are you most looking forward other than SWTOR stuffs to see on Star Wars
I
Celebration?
mean, can I call it? It's gonna be Star Wars Episode 9 trailer, man. The trailer's got to come out at
Uh,
Celebration.
it need, yeah, or just a title at least, or
Oh
something.
god. I mean, as long as they don't do what they did at E3 with the whole you're gonna play a Jedi game at sitting in a crowd. As long as they don't do that,
Uh,
I think we're good.
yeah, I really hope that
So,
that will not happening.
I mean, they just ended up wrapping shooting a couple days ago, right? Abrams put
Hmm.
out that tweet, and so a couple of days. We still have it's a month and a half. You know, 45 days. We can get a really good teaser trailer.
Hmm. I
I think
agree.
that's
I
enough
agree.
time. I think so. I would say an episode 9 trailer. As far as things to do at the celebration, oh man, I'm just gonna enjoy going there. I'm gonna enjoy going to the cantina for sure. Spending time with other SWTOR players that have been also creating content. It'll be the first time I actually meet other content creators for a game that I'm very passionate about. That'll be my first experience. It'll be very exciting. Um, it's gonna be a good time. I'm just looking forward to the entire event as a whole.
Oh, I cannot wait to see what's gonna happen there. I really hope. I mean, not really hope. I'm sure it will be a ton of fun, without a doubt. But yeah, that's all. I'm not gonna wrap your interview, Nami. Sorry, sorry.
No,
I'm
no, no.
gonna
No,
hide.
that's a question.
You're
That's a
fine, man.
wrecking. That's not a wrecking. Is there anybody who has questions? Also, I'm gonna ask my partner in crime. I did shout him out. Infiltration, filter, wake up. Is there any questions
What?
you have for Kogass?
I was listening the whole time. Don't put that on me.
Oh, well, yeah, you were actually because you just sent me a Discord message. So yeah.
Yep. So Kogas, I want to ask you here, with you being a top three jug, 2 years running, congrats, my dude. Did you ever think about like doing like say, because I know if we go to different, sources, people are a little bit different on, how jugs are supposed to be played and whatnot. And you're a jug main, so did you ever think about maybe ever doing like a guide for those that are kind of struggling with jug in general?
Oh
Like
man,
PVE,
I have
PvP, because Dolphy is outdated. They're like 5.0, and sometimes maybe they're up to date, but it's like you want
right
up to
because I
date
mean
content.
I'm not sure if Dolphy's guide still says to use Chilling Scream, but Chilling Scream's been nerfed to the ground where you never want to use it unless you're doing regs and trying to farm numbers. That's a huge difference right there. I used to be able to hit 6K before Chilling Scream got nerfed. Um, as far as writing a guide, it's so weird that you ask me that because I'm the kind of person that goes online and looks for the guide. I'm looking for a guide. I'm looking for what needs to be done. And what I end up doing, PVE wise at least, I go to Parsley and I look at whoever has the top parse and I break down their parse and try to find out what they're doing in their parses and their dummy parse to see their rotation. Once I somehow copy their rotation, have something added to it, usually I'm good because I've known the mechanics of the fights and having the rotation and knowing the mechanics of the fights are the two big pieces of the pie, and the small piece is actually gear. You don't need phenomenal gear to perform well in raids, and that's something I think people miss out on. They're like, oh man, if I grind this out, I can get the gear and then I can get really high DPS. if you spend that hour instead of doing Osu's dailies once a week, if you spend that hour on the dummy looking at a rotation and being like, this is what my rotation should be, then you will see your numbers definitely improve. As far as a guide, nobody's asked me that. I can review a guide, I can look it up. But I'm just gonna be like, is this the right information for me to tell people? I don't want to tell people something wrong. And I always say, this is my opinion. You don't have to take it because there's definitely a different rotation for PvE that I use as I do for PvP.
Yeah.
PvP, you definitely want to have more upfront burst damage as you can. PvE is definitely more about sustained damage. That boss is going to be there for a long time. Also, you're going to be adjusting your rotation in both circumstances in order to maximize your DPS. If there's only one or two people to dot spread on as a Jug Vengeance, you're not going to want to dot spread on just two people. You're going to want to try to get a third or a fourth, so you might hold off on it. And then, but if you do that, one of your dots might fall off. It gets very complicated, gets very intricate, and it's just like, do you want me to write a guide? I will start working on a guide.
Hey, well, I'm just saying, I need some help with my Vengeance Juggernaut. I see you play a lot of Vengeance Jug. I know there's a lot of other people that can, that also play Jug as well. It'd just be nice because like when I was doing ranked, because you encouraged me to do ranked and I actually placed, so thank you for that. But there's a lot of people
dude,
that were
awesome.
like ranked players that were like OS Purple and Junkie, and those guys were giving advice for people like Lightning Source. Like I don't want to give any misinformation because I'm not like the king of Lightning Source or like that. But it's just when you have people asking, you go to Dolphy and it's like 5.0. It's it's a little bit outdated. I mean, there's some guys like on Volk where they have snipers and whatnot, but it's like I don't want to be like, yeah, just go ask Kogass. But what if Kogass is not there? What if they have like a site to go to, or if you go to your Discord?
Right. Well, I can definitely try to get something up there. I think I did read over Volk's guide, and it was very, very good information. Utilities are very big for jugs in PvP, and having the right utilities is extremely important, especially in solo ranked. I would say mobility above anything else, because if you're not able to get out of things or get into the combat as a melee DPS, and jugs don't have that unless they take the utilities for it, you're a fish in a barrel. You really are in big trouble a lot of times.
Okay, well, definitely. I just, I know you have a lot of work there, so I just didn't want to like overcomplicate anything there for you.
And yes, Ginger, I will also. Sorry, not to cut you off. I will
No.
make an audio voiceover for it if you wish.
No, you're perfectly okay. This is your platform, your time there. I just want to make sure we asked all those hardball questions. Excuse me.
Now, Kogass
These questions
actually
seem
sent
better.
me
Yes.
a Discord message. So I need to ask a few more questions. Sorry about this. But how long have you been a BioWare influencer?
I have been a BioWare influencer since July of 2018. And I think I was in the trial for the program for about 6 months.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Now, what do you do as an influencer?
What do I do? I pretty much get to play liaison between the community and BioWare or the devs, and just talking to them, being like, "Hey guys." So when I ask about what do you guys think about this, or what do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about bringing back the Dark versus Light event? Was something that I brought up, and it was just like, oh, we should definitely do it. And I'm just like, great, this is good information, because I'm directly sending some of that information. It's just like, hey, you know what? I've asked the community, I've asked players, and they're saying they would love to have a Dark versus Light event again, because it's been a long time since we've had it. People would like to get an opportunity to get those achievements, those mounts, those decorations to companion, and that's something that I can be like, hey, this is what the community wants, and then BioWare says probably nothing to me half the time, because it's hey, this is what I'm sending up to you guys. Hopefully you guys can get it. Sometimes they tell us stuff, they ask us questions, and it's just like NDA. I can't really go into it with you guys here, but it's just they ask us questions, and it's we give them our responses, we give them our thoughts, and then they do with it as they wish. I mean, we're sometimes a test pool for them.
And what would you say your favorite part of being an influencer is?
It is definitely giving back to the community, giving to the community, and talking to everybody and being like, "Is everything okay with you?" No, I'm having this issue. All right, send me anything you can on it, and I will get that sent up. It is really nice to be like, you know what, that isn't right. Let me do something for you, or let me see if I can help you. Let's see what we can do to correct the issue if it's one way or the other.
That's why I always tell people in my stream, if you have any problems, if you have any complaints, I know some BioWare influencers. I will direct you to them. Go contact them at this. But yeah, no. How would you say, like, okay, if somebody does come to you with a complaint or a bug, do you see that it's addressed pretty quickly, or?
It depends on what the issue is. Some of the bug, if the big thing is to always give me a screenshot or a clip of the issue. That is the easiest way for BioWare to see what the issue is, as opposed to hearing it or trying to replicate it themselves. If they can see the issue, they can be like, "This isn't right. This isn't supposed to happen.
Got
Let's
it.
get on this," right? And that is the best way for me. That is the best and fastest way for an issue to get addressed. Is if you have a small clip of it or a screenshot of what happened, and you're like, I don't know, this happened to me in game. I can send that up, and I can be like, hey, look, this is what they're saying is happening. This is what I'm seeing happening. I'm not sure if that's supposed to happen, but it doesn't seem right, and sent up. And then usually I hear back from them pretty quickly on those events. But if it's just vague things like, oh, this is bugged or that isn't going well, it doesn't really get the reception that it needs because it takes time for them to figure it out. And that stuff sometimes gets put in the back seat, and they're like, we got other things to worry about.
Mm, yeah. I mean, it's kind of hard too. I mean, it's not like there's a huge amount of a workforce that can actually change a lot of things as well. I think people have to be. It's not like World of Warcraft of any sort. So sometimes changes are going to take a while. So, but as long as there's Bioware influencers who can at least um, get the issue or whatever addressed, the suggestion addressed to Bioware, that's probably the first step. Now, are there any changes in the program that you'd like to see in the future? Like whether it be more involvement with the influencers or.
Um, I'm not sure how much I'm allowed to say on that end, to be honest. There's definitely there is a new Star Wars community coordinator. I don't know if everybody knows about this, but Dan has been a couple months ago. They put out that they were hiring somebody to work with Musco, and that slot has been filled, and the person's name is Dan. I don't know his last name. He definitely has picked up the ball and started talking to us, and he's done more. And some things that he's done, and I don't know if he's helped Peter out this way, but he's definitely had Swotor Twitch channel give me a host a few times and retweet some of the things that I've done, and it's really cool to see that the Swotor Twitch channel is starting to get active again. It used to be very active. It used to be, hey, these are our influencers streaming, uh, and that kind of hit the side. So it's really nice to see that they're doing that. Just a little bit more of communication from devs to us, but they have a lot of red tape they have to go through sometimes, and it just sucks to deal with. I'm
Yeah,
sure on their end more than our end.
right, because they have a bajillion of you guys. Not a bajillion, that's an overstatement, but they're hearing it from all different sides, and it could be the same thing, or it could be a different issue, or whatever it may be, or suggestions. So, yeah. Now, do you guys, all you Bioware influencers, ever get together, whether it be in voice or in a chat, just you influencers, where you guys are roundtabling anything?
There are times where we bounce ideas off of each other, and we talk, and it's just like, yes, I think, what about this or that, and it's like I said, we have to keep things vague here at this point, but it's just there are times where it's just like, I'm not sure if I like this, and um, I talk to other Bioware influencers, and we kind of talk and bounce things off. But so yes, absolutely, we talk and discuss things amongst each other.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, because I would think that, if you have like, I don't know how many there are of you guys, but let's just say 15 to 20 influencers. Just seems like it would be nice that you guys were all kind of working it all out, you know, giving suggestions, ideas, and then bringing it over to actually BioWare versus like it coming from 20 different directions.
Right.
But yeah, something like a united front, I guess. Also, I want to mention Naira, who is adorable, wants you to know that we want male blue Twi'lek dancers, male ones, and they have to be blue.
Male blue Twi'lek dancers.
There
I'll
you
put
go.
that in my notes.
Blue Man Group. There you go. Blue Man Group. If you guys don't know what that is, by the way, that is a show in Vegas. So, anyways, um, also it looks like Cyrus. Hi, Cyrus said he wants you to teach him PvP. Which, by the way, Cyrus, if you are in my Discord, just put out a new Mara guide. So definitely check him out on his YouTube.
Okay.
Filter, was there any other questions that you had, maybe with regard to?
Can we ask? There's a question in chat. Is the Star Wars license at risk? And in your opinion, does this place the game on a timer? I can address this one very well without any issues.
Sure.
I went to Star Wars South by SWTOR last year. That was hosted by Bad Feeling Podcast, and I got to talk to Charles Boyd about that exact question, and he laughed at me so hard when I actually asked him the question. I was just like, "What's wrong?" And he's like, "The deal that BioWare has with Disney and with LucasArts and all that is completely separate than the deal that EA has with Disney on Star Wars licensing video games. So, yes, EA, I think, published the game, and BioWare developed it, and this is a BioWare and EA game. However, it does not fall into the same category as all of the games that are part of the license in Disney and EA.
Well, there you
So
go.
it's just like this game, even when EA loses, I mean, if EA loses the ability to make Star Wars games in the future, Star Wars: The Old Republic is still going to be there. It's still going to be kicking. There's nothing really to worry about with saying, "Oh, the game is going to die." There's really no need for that thought process if whatever happens to EA and the Star Wars license.
Oh, perfect. I'm sorry. I think Ginger was gonna Twitch message me a question. I think I'm not too sure. Ginger, did you have a question that you wanted to ask? Um, hmm. TMG just came in, and right after that
TMG.
meetup, Kogass got beat by the Jaeger machine. Ah,
True
that's
story.
too funny. So, yes, is there any other questions from chat or Filter or even Peter? Peter, are you awake? Because I know you're in EU.
I'm DMing. I'm DMing a lot. No, of course I'm away. I'm all right.
Oh, yay.
Uh,
Look at this 20-hour man.
do I have questions for Kogass? I actually really need to know Kogass a lot. Like one of the influencers that I barely know, unfortunately. We actually came around the same time, Kogass, and I had 4 or 5 months of trial. You had 6, as you mentioned. I came on April back then, and you were you were said you came at May or April as well, or something like that. So we both came at the same time, I think, almost at the same time.
Right. I was in July 2018, so that was a few months, like a month or two.
Yeah, a month or two, but we like roughly came to the stuff, like the influencer stuff together. I'm honestly saying it, Nami, as for you as well. I really need to know the influencers more. And as we saying, like we chatting back and forth of ideas and things like that, but we actually not had like, let's just say like a Discord like this meetup when we all meeting up and just asking what's up and what ideas do we have and things like that, like that. We actually, like, I really hope that someday all of us together we have the time to, also get to know each other and share ideas and things like that, maybe share them to the devs as well. um yeah, that's all for Kogass. So I really hope, I don't have a question for Kogass, but I do hope that we get to know each other at some point and maybe play or something like that.
Oh yeah, dude, absolutely.
Cyrus asks, how does the dev team currently feel class balance is? Either
You
one
know,
of you.
that's a, so here's the thing is that if anybody remembers, the history of Star Wars and kind of what happened at 5.0, we had Ben as our producer, and then Ben went over to Anthem, and Keith took over Star Wars as main producer of Star Wars, or the producer of Star Wars. And one of the first things Keith did was class balances. I think that was either his first or second patch that he was just like, we are completely redoing class balances. And since then, um, they're doing their best to try to get rid of. It seems like they're doing their best to get rid of hybrid specs, right? They don't really want us to be having skink tanks. They don't really want us to be doing um, a lot of burst damage on a class inspect that's supposed to be doing AOE dot damage. I think that they currently are really happy with how class balance is. And aside from the massive amount of time somebody can get netted in one match, it's really in a good spot. Class balance isn't the best. I don't think there's a way to ever find the best way to get class balance, but I feel like class balances are good, and with the patches notes coming out that they just did, that they really haven't been touching class balances, and with 258 gear coming out, they're like, hey, sometimes people thought this class was weak for these older nightmare raids. They're now viable with the 258 gear. So it's definitely a fun little dance that they do with balancing and gearing, because people used to be able to clear nightmare raids in 242 gear with 228 augments, and you can't really do that anymore just because of how um, everything's changed, how the classes have been buffed or nerfed, and how the gear's been changed around. That's definitely something that changed along the way, that at the time it was possible, but now going back with how they've changed the classes, it's not feasible anymore. And that's why 248 gear came out, and then that's why 252 and 258 gear has come out for the nightmare raids.
So, do you, this is a question off that. So, when you say that it was cleared in nightmare mode in 242s, right? With the
Hmm.
classes being, let's just say, nerfed somewhat, so and rather than changing that entire op, for example, what they have done is kind of nerf the gearing down so that they can introduce the next 258.
They don't think of it as nerfing the gearing. They were doing class balance, right? They were changing the amount of damage the class was able to do. Let's take the juggernauts for instance. The piercing chill used to be AOE damage that is so strong that jugs would use it as their primary rotation on a single target damage. So once that got nerfed, they had to introduce new gear to make up for other abilities that they didn't really change or tweak, but they gave us new gear to say, hey, this is going to do more damage now, but we're nerfing this other thing that used to be a staple in your rotation. And that's
Okay.
kind of what they did under the hood that I noticed. From my perspective and from my point of view, it was just, we're giving you guys new gear at the same time we're kind of nerfing the damage you're able to do.
I see. Hmm. Well, I know that it would be hard. I've never done I got to tell you, a nightmare mode yet. So I'm still going through the hard mode. So yeah, oh, I don't think I'm ready for nightmare. But yeah, you guys have been in this game
You
a lot longer
are.
and have seen the changes. So I'm sure you can remember the early days when an op came in. But yeah. Now, another question was the Queen just came out, but is there any operation plan to come out in the future? Is that something you guys can
Oh,
answer about?
so I mean, I can restate what they've stated publicly, right? The devs have said, and I've heard them say this. To Bad Feeling Podcast when they did their little drinking. The reason Bad Feeling Podcast gets so many exclusives with Eric and Charles is that they're in Austin as well as BioWare, so they're like, hey man, let's just go down the street and hang out with these guys for a bit. But what they said and on streams as well is that they planned this for 6.0 to be a traditional expansion, a traditional Star Wars expansion, Rise of the Hutt Cartel, Shadow of Revan. That is the kind of expansion they are shooting for. So with that kind of expansion, we're looking at level boost, new abilities, and a new raid. Now, am I saying this 100% that's going to happen? No, I'm saying they want it to be a Shadow of Revan, Rise of the Cartel like expansion. So that's kind of what I'm guessing it's going to be. It's, if that's what they're stating, that's what we can go off of.
Hmm. Peter, is there anything you want to add to that?
Without breaking my NDA, no.
Okay, fair
I mean, like I said,
enough.
that's all they've said. That's all they've said publicly, and that's all.
Yeah,
That's all a
that's
repeat of. It's all
yeah,
stipulation on our end as well.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
That's all they said publicly. So that's why I don't want to break my NDA. That's why I don't
Right,
want to
right.
add up many things.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, no, don't want that to happen. But, anyways, I am so thankful that I got you two here together. Honestly, both you guys. I know I was watching Peter doing some solo ranked yesterday on his stream, and Kogass I've seen do solo rank because he streams it. Not to mention, I was very fortunate to be on a match with him. So thank you guys for so much for being here. I mean, I am so excited that you guys were able to make it today, especially after Peter's 20-hour stream. I think how much sleep did you get after that? Just out of curiosity.
7 hours, I think.
Wow, that's not very much actually. I would still be sleeping. Um, but don't forget, see, I see you being blue there, Kogas. You got to get that blue Twi'lek, male Twi'lek, that is. Okay, got to get that in the works. Okay, looking for you to come out. Get that for Naira. Naira's like, yes, I want it. Um, anyways, I'm going to just let you guys know, since you guys are both my fellow streamers as well. I'm going to be doing another huge community event on March 16th. So before the Star Wars celebration. So I know you guys were there with me last time. We went on all three of the servers. So I'm hoping that you guys are able to join again. And I'm looking to do the 16-man ops again. Just kind of another thing just to get together. There's new streamers in. So yes, if you guys are wanting to, you guys heard it here first. March 16th. So let me know if you guys are wanting to participate. I'll be putting something up in announcements, and hopefully you guys can sign up again. I'll be looking for Peter, to give me some of those juicy credits over there in Darth Malgus.
It depends how the wedding goes, and after that I will answer.
Wow.
Just the
Wow.
wedding, man. You got to judge her on the honeymoon too.
Wow, Kogas. Okay then.
So true. So true. Thanks
And
for the tip, man.
look at this. They're both getting each other's backs all of a sudden. Wow, lucky me. Um, so as far as I know, Naira said you could be reading the phone book, Kogas, and she would listen to you. Just saying. See,
That's very sweet.
she agrees with me about your smooth voice. So anyways, yeah, nice fireplace. Thank you. That is from the Life Day event, actually. So, anyways, thank you guys for being here again. Filter, do you have anything else to say while we wrap this up?
Oh, related to the stream or what?
No, whatever you want to say or anything.
I'll just be honest then.
You'll be honest.
So what I did just now there while I was just listening, thinking about if I had any questions in general that haven't been answered there. I finally got my emotes, got them all plugged in and everything like that. So I'm just waiting on Twitch to freaking approve them. So I don't know how long that will be, but I got that taken care of. That way people can stop nagging me about them.
Yay!
So I got my sub emotes, or I got my sub badges already taken care of, so I'm good with that. So I got all that taken care of there. So now I can stop being nagged to death.
Wait, who was
Hell
nagging
yeah,
you to
that's
death?
So cool. Congrats.
Half of Team B42 and Phoenix Cartel, really.
Well, I just thought me nagging would be enough, but yes, I'm glad that they nagged you as well. But I do approve of your second emote that you sent me. I'm not going to say what it is, but yes, I do approve. Nami
It's
approved.
a sexy picture.
And we will let you guys know when the Minecraft wedding is. My name will not be Nami, it will be Felicia. Okay, do you guys all get that? Felicia. So he can turn around and say, bye, Felicia, when I walk off with 3.4 billion credits. And whatever else I can get on the